that's big business. Hit 10, but that's big pimpin'. My potential, that's infinite. Pin game insane. Make hits like King Griffin, a 10th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 64 of the 10th Inning Podcast. I'm Sean. He's Dan. I hope he's to the left on the other one because if not, I'm just pointing at nobody.
And today, Sean, what you have here today is you have me. You have me, and you have a new, I don't know if you guys can tell it's a little bit clearer, maybe. Maybe it's a little more crisp. Maybe the lighting's a little better. And that is because I have the ring light that I got for Sean on. I got one for myself. And I got the new Lappy. It's in here. A nice new Lenovo. Same as I had before, just the updated version. Not the all the way updated version. The one at 1600 for that bad boy, Sean. I walked in there. I said, this is what I want. The newest Lenovo. They take me over. It says 1600. I said, all right. I'm sorry. There's a misunderstanding. Had to be a misunderstanding here. Now, as much as I'm sure everyone's very upset right now because they were like, holy shit, he forgot. New computer. It's on speaker view. We get to just see Sean the whole time. I'm sorry. I just can't let it happen like that. So you are going to have to see both me and Sean for the time being. But I do apologize. I do want
no reason to apologize.
No.
We're both equally as easy on the eyes.
Thank you. You know who isn't easy on the eyes?
And you're a little more easy on the eyes now because it's less foggy. Because you got the new laptop. We're doing well. We're doing well.
I got three modes on this light here. Do you like this? This is like the bright white. It's like
Okay.
This is more of a yellow tone.
Okay.
And then this is like the bluish like white
Yeah.
white. I felt like this was the best right now.
I like that one best. Now that do you want to help me figure out mine?
Yeah, sure.
This is the bright, right? This is the blue. This is the bright one. I had it on like a different yellow one. This looks like a little red. I'm a little colorblind, folks, so this could be the same colors and it just looks different to me every time.
One more cycle of it.
Okay, this is blue.
It's not bad. I like that one right there.
Okay, you like that? Now. Up, down.
No, I think the way you had it was perfect.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you had it on the right brightness. I think I had mine on the right brightness too, but I think we're cooking with fire now, Sean.
Let us know in the comments, like what mode, what brightness.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us.
We want you guys to have a positive, pleasant viewing experience.
Absolutely, and we're all about the fans.
That's it. We are all about you guys at home, the fans. Sean, let's give something to the fans. Let's talk about some news that happened. We will get into our top 10 starting pitchers and relievers from last year, but we want to get the news out first, Sean. As we know, one of my favorite players here, the red-hot starting third baseman, Rafael Devers, is finally locked up. Heinblum, the pitchforks have at least backed up a little bit from his home. He gave Rafi, and I mean, don't come at me here. I think this might be the best deal of the offseason for any team. 11 years and 333?
31, I think.
331. How'd you feel about that?
I love it for the Red Sox, for Devers. He got paid what I think the market value was. He's 26 years old. That by the time the deal ends, he's still going to be under 40. So this deal is going to run through his entire prime, and then a little bit after. But still, the trajectory he's had. He's been a homegrown prospect, and we've kind of seen him develop. And it's nice to see the Red Sox retain some of that talent. On the other hand, though, I understand the memes that have been poking fun at the fact that they got rid of everybody good from the farm, like homegrown, but decided to keep Devers, and Devers is going to be the only good player on a bad team for years to come.
Yeah.
The Red Sox do have some guys in the minors, and they always are competitive, so that won't be totally the case. But it does raise the question, what if they did not trade Mookie Betts or let Xander Bogaerts walk? But that is another discussion. Rafi Devers, congratulations on the contract, well deserved, and the Red Sox at least have their cornerstone to build around for the next 11 years, I guess you would say.
I think you look 2 years, maybe 3 years down the line, you have a guy like Nick York, prospect I really like at second base, a guy like Marcelo Meyer, consensus top probably 15 prospect at least at shortstop. You got one of the best third base in the league at Devers. You got Verdugo and Masataka. What's that outfielder's name now?
Oh, the in Masataka, I
I
believe.
think it is Masataka. You got Masataka in right and left, Verdugo in right. It's a little squadron. It's a little bit of a squadron. You
Yeah.
have some good prospects in there. And of course, they sign a first baseman and a big center fielder, get some pitching down there in Boston. And I think you got a playoff team in 3 or 4 years. So all is not lost.
No, no.
I
But
think
if
honestly, Mookie was probably out of their window. I mean, he's what? I guess he's 30. But I mean, I don't know.
but their window, if they don't trade Mookie Betts, is
Is now
yeah.
it's close. Yeah,
I really don't understand necessarily why they trade him. I know the money is an issue, and they wanted to get rid of David Price's contract, but at the same time, you took a team that won a World Series 2 years prior, and then basically dismantled it. Mind you, they made it to the ALCS the next year without Mookie Betts, so they were a good team without him. Throw him in there, and they have a chance to win a World Series back in 2021. So Heim Bloom's made some interesting decisions. I mean, he did come from the Rays, who are notoriously frugal, uh, but good for Devers and the Red Sox. They do have some young talent, but I can't help but think, man, if they just kept Mookie Betts, they could have let Xander Bogaerts walk. I would understand that if they still had Betts under contract. But interesting decisions coming out of Boston, but they basically had to do this like the Yankees had to sign Judge. They would not have been a good look had they not come to an agreement and he gets traded or he walks. So
yeah. I think it'll work out pretty well for both sides. A guy like at his age, getting 11 years, honestly, usually someone like him, they have to pay him till he's 40. Only paying him till he's 37, I think is pretty. They come out pretty scot free on that end, and I think 30 mil is, dare I say, a bargain for someone like Rafi Devers. I'm a huge fan. I'm a big bias
yeah,
guy, but I think it worked out well for the Red Sox. I think it's a good deal.
yeah, absolutely. Came right after they agreed to the arbitration too.
You're right.
So they obviously were able to find common ground and get a feel for one another, and here they are. So I mean, it'll work out well for both sides. I agree with you.
Any other news on the docket today?
Just the whole Carlos Correa and Mets saga. Both sides are putting out their information, trying to get leverage over the other side. Every time you see a rumor, it's either Scott Boras putting it out or Steve Cohen and the Mets putting out a rumor. I don't know if I've ever seen in any sport or anything for that matter, people seeing through the rumors as bait, I guess you could say, put out by the other side. It is so clearly obvious what each other are doing. Scott Boras is a mastermind with this, but even he can't hide how blatantly obvious this is. But ultimately, I think the Mets will come to a deal. I think it might be in the neighborhood of maybe 3 or 4 years, with a good amount of money on the table, but a shorter term deal, maybe some opt outs. But yeah, it's just this saga just continues on and on and on. So
Yeah, if you're Carlos Correa or in his camp, I don't know. I almost feel bad for the fella. I never liked
yeah,
him, but at this point, it's like, Jesus Christ, I'm just trying to get a goddamn contract. This is how many
yeah.
years now? I guess only
Every
2, but it's like,
every bit of leverage he had is gone. I mean,
right.
he's failed 2 physicals. What's the chance he's going to fail a third? It's probably pretty high. How did he pass the physical with the Twins last year? Because this is an injury. If it is what it's reported, this happened in like 2014, I think in the minors or his rookie year with the Astros. Um, so it's just kind of bizarre. I'm sure when this deal comes to an agreement, wherever he may be, we're going to hear the specifics. But I'm very curious.
Well, I'm sure he didn't pass the physical, uh, per se with the Twins or with any team in the offseason, and it kind of got hushed up because it's probably why he only got the 1 year. I mean, he got 3, I guess, but with opt outs, I mean, no one was interested in giving Correa a big deal last year.
Yeah,
So
that's true. And it begs the question, at least to me, failing a physical is that set the level, the threshold to pass, is that set by Major League Baseball or set by the team? Because what happens if a player is playing and he should not be playing and he gets hurt again? That, I mean, it's the player's fault or he's liable, but I feel like the team, it's somewhere in there is a bit of a gray area where the liability could fall on the team because maybe they fudged the physical and got him to playing. I don't know. That's just a thought that I've had.
well, I think every team. I don't think there's a standard from MLB as far as I know. I think every team has a team doctor, and they run their own tests to make sure because they might have different things that they look for. Different teams might value different things.
Yeah.
Um, But baseball and sports in general is not new to the idea of teams and team doctors shoving pills down players' throats to keep them going
Yeah,
and letting them play through injury because that means, money. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
look at the
NFL.
NFL. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like just fucking, it's terrible.
yeah,
Everyone's on
yeah.
the old perkies.
It's not to go too far off topic, but it's interesting. I saw Roger Goodell today at the Bills game with a number 3 hat and shirt. Um, and it's almost ironic to a certain degree because he got hurt playing football. Damar Hamlin, God bless his soul, he's recovering and improving every day. But he got hurt playing football, and then Roger Goodell is there honoring him. I'm sure it's more PR than anything else. But had he never played football, he would be perfectly fine right now. It's just it's a weird little thing you see where the commissioner of the sport that caused the injury is there supporting the player, but at the same time trying to build up the NFL, saying, "Oh, look, we care about our players." You know what I mean? I just
Yeah,
saw that today. It's kind of just that thought popped in my head. We're a baseball podcast, not football, but it's something I was just thought of, get off my chest.
it is interesting. I mean, listen, they sign up for it at the end of the day. Unfortunately, it should be
Oh yeah,
safer, but
oh yeah,
they sign up for it and they get paid for it. But it
yeah. I mean,
does
they
it
they
does
they
suck.
full well know what they're getting into. I get that,
Yeah,
but it's just interesting, you know.
it is. Yeah, it's definitely something. It's always PR with Goodell.
Yeah.
They're businessmen at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You know who else is a businessman, Sean?
Who?
Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola's a businessman. You don't want to know why? Because sometimes businessmen they don't want to be all. Sometimes want to be all about out and about like Goodell. They want to get their name out, their face out. Some
Yeah.
guys they work undercover. They don't want their name, their face to be out there. They have puppets that do the work for them, and then they slide underneath and reap all the benefits. Aaron Nola, neither Cy Young Award winner. I don't think he was even in the top 2 or 3. However,
Yeah.
he finished with the most Fangraphs pitching WAR, and I bet no one would have guessed it.
Yeah.
Point 0.6 higher than Sandy Alcantara or Alcantara. I'd let you say it however you want to. I'm going to say Alcantara, and I'm going to keep saying it that way. And you're going to have to deal with it, the fans at home. 6.3 WAR for Mr. Aaron Nola, Sean. How do you feel about that? Were you shocked when you saw he was leading the league?
I was. Frankly I thought it was probably gonna be Verlander or Alcantara, however you want to say it. I was surprised, and there were some guys I will get to later that were a little lower in the list that I was equally as surprised with. But yeah, Aaron Nola, very much a sleeper candidate every year for the Cy Young. Didn't, like you said, did not get the respect we think he deserved. But not expecting Aaron Nola to be the number 1 WAR on Fangraphs starting pitcher. So
Big Aaron Nola guy. I've been trying to trade for him for the last 2 years from Matt, a guy in our fantasy baseball league. But I didn't think, and he was a big bounce back candidate from last year, that inflated ERA, all the bad luck, hushki dushki. And now this year we see him kind of bounce back, have the better look. I apologize for the fans at home that I just said hushki dushki. I just got back home to New York and it's starting to infiltrate my language here. It means nothing, to be frank with you. Just let it go. It means whatever you want it to mean to yourself. But let's just go through the rest of the top 15 here, and then we'll get through to our list. You guys know how it goes from the other episodes. Number 2, Carlos Rodon, a guy that I did trade for this offseason, now a Yankee, 6.2 WAR. Justin Verlander, 6.1 WAR. Sandy Alcantara, 5.7 WAR. Kevin Gausman, a guy I'm actively trying to trade for, 5.7 WAR. He's on Sean's team. Shohei.
who aren't you?
What do you say?
Who are you not? Who are you not trying to trade for?
That's a fair statement, Sean. That is a fair statement. Shohei Ohtani, 5.6 WAR. Crazy that he's also one of the best hitters of baseball. Also on my team. Max Fried, 5.0 WAR in 7th. Spencer Strider, rookie debut, came in 2nd for NL Rookie of the Year, 4.9 WAR. Shane Bieber, 4.9 WAR, that is 9th. In 10th, Corbin Burns, Cy Young Award winner from last year with 4.6. Another good year out of him. Some more innings, too. In 11th, Framber Valdez, kind of an under-the-radar Astros pitcher in that number 2 hole behind Verlander. Could take over the number 1 spot with 4.1 WAR. Number 12 was Dylan Cease, kind of a breakout season for him, 4.4 WAR. Max Scherzer, 4.4 WAR as well at 13th. He's declining. He's not as good as he used to be. He's honestly the worst pitcher in baseball. Number 14, Zach Gallen, 4.3. A little bit of a coming out party for him. Has had flashes, but he really put it together this year. Had that big scoreless inning streak. And number 15, tied, Yu Darvish, 4.2. And Logan Webb, 4.2. Another red hot there at the end there. Got to shout out my boy, Sean. Got to let him know.
Of course.
Would you mind taking me through at the start of 2022? Because things change, man. So you look back and you realize how much perception of pitchers change, how much stuff is different. At the jump of 2022, who did you have in your top 15, Sean?
I had an interesting one. I went back to the video again to figure out my list, and hit with some, didn't hit with many. I had Sandy Alcantara as my 15th best starter, and I thought that was high on him, to be honest with you. I had seen him a lot with the Marlins. Knew he was a good pitcher. Knew he didn't get run support. Kind of had the hard luck losses like Jacob deGrom had been with the Mets. And I thought maybe I was for some of it. I think you and Zeke ranked him higher than I did. A lot of times I've noticed I rank players lower than I think that other people rank them. But anyway, I had him at 15. Then from there I went Logan Webb at 14. I like Logan Webb. I know you're very high on him. He's on your team. Solid pitcher, I believe, a bright future. Then I had Lucas Giolito at 13. Yeah, he had an iffy year. Nothing great, not really too great. But Kevin Gossman at 12. He had a nice year. I thought he was going to regress a little bit. Didn't regress as much as I had thought. Then from there, Clayton Kershaw at number 11. Robbie Ray at number 10. Again, I expect a little bit of regression from his prior year. Then Julio Urias at number 9. 8, Brandon Woodruff. 7, Corbin Burns. I had the Milwaukee Brewers teammates back to back. Shane Bieber at 6. Garrett Cole at 5, who I thought I was ranking him a little bit low. Frankly, I guess I ranked him a little bit higher. And then from there, Max Scherzer at 4. Zach Wheeler at 3, who I thought was going to have a lot better of a WAR than he did. That really surprised me, how low he was on the list. Walker Buehler at 2. That was a huge L. He really didn't have much of a year. Was injured for most of it. And then Jacob deGrom at 1. Similar to Walker Buehler, didn't pitch all that much until, I guess, when he started in August or late July. So the list, had players been healthy, maybe Walker Buehler and deGrom would be 1 and 2. I don't know, but I really didn't get any points. Now you said that Logan Webb was tied for 15th.
Yeah, I'm hearing 3 points out of you there. That's what I'm hearing,
Okay,
Sean.
I put 1 point, but because I thought he was 16th, but I misinterpreted it. So that's 3 points for me there. And that is the only 3 points I get in the starting pitcher's pitching position. Did not hit any nails on the head. Frankly, I whiffed, but I think starting pitching or pitching in general is the most difficult one to predict. And I'm curious to hear what your list was.
Well, Sean, I'll tell you, with that 3 points, you did come away with the victory. So congratulations to you. That's a walk-off 3 points to you on the pitching side. Similar to you, it's impossible. It's almost impossible. I got to ask, what was Wheeler's WAR? Because I'm realizing now he's not here. And why?
His WAR was 4.1.
How many innings? He threw some innings now. He was another horse here, right?
He had 190, or sorry, he had 153. So he was injured.
Okay.
I guess more than I had realized. So that hurt.
I didn't realize he was injured that much. So
I didn't
realize.
To be honest with you.
Okay, well that explains it. 4.1 and 153 ain't bad, because Logan Webb is probably at 4.2, closer to 200. I'm gonna assume Logan Webb had more innings than him for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting into it, my top 10. I'll go top 15. I'll go the other way. I always go the other way from you because it's just for shits and gigs. I had deGrom at number 1, 2.2 WAR. I don't know if Sean's had said that before. Obviously, 2.2 WAR and the amount he pitched is pretty good, but he simply did not pitch enough. Corbin Burns, I had at number 2, coming off the Cy Young year. I bought in a little bit. Listen, great year out of Burns. What was he? Um,
4.6.
4.6. So he was in 10th. Honestly, that's not that far away from 2 as it really seems,
Yeah.
given how many great pitchers there are. So I'm pretty happy with that. Bieber at 3. Bieber shoved. And 9th, it didn't seem like it all year, but he was doing well. He kind of did exactly what I thought he would do. He came back. He looked better. His strikeout rate was really far down, I noticed, but he was still getting outs. And that's pretty impressive for when a pitcher like him, a power pitcher, comes back from injury. The strikeout rates go down a little bit. Maybe the fastball velocity goes down a little bit, but he's still able to compete and get outs. So congratulations to him and his family. I had Cole at 4. Like you, it's like maybe I should have been a little even more harsh than that. At 5, I had Clay. He had 3.8 WAR. I will mention that is significantly higher than Cole by 0.5. Significance a tough term, but he had more WAR than Garrett Cole. So how about that? If he would have pitched a whole year, I think Clay would have been in the conversation of the top 10. He probably would have finished pretty close to Corbin Burns type numbers if he had the same innings.
I have Kersh. You said Kersh had 3 point what?
8.
Okay. And then what did Garrett Cole have?
3.3. Am I off on that?
Well, actually, I have to go to the next page, so you're probably not off. I think I misread the numbers. I just wanted to make sure, but you're correct.
Okay. Also, if you look there, what place did Clayton Kershaw come in for WAR? Does it say?
Clayton. Let me go back to the first page because Garrett Cole's on the second page and Clayton Kershaw is on the first. Naturally, that's how it should be. Clayton Kershaw is number 22.
Yeah, he was. That's my boy, Sean. He's just fucking with you, people. He's just messing with you. He was healthy. He was like, God, I'm just doing so well with these fucking 8 no-hit innings every start. I gotta take a couple weeks off just so I don't rack up the WAR. I gotta come in 22nd here. God bless my boy. Anyway, number 6, I had Bueller. Obviously, he got injured. 1 WAR for him. He did rack up in the limited time he pitched. Wheeler, I had in 7th. He has the 4.1, like you mentioned. Could have just looked on my list. Verlander, I had an 8th, 6.1 WAR. I thought that was pretty aggressive coming back from Tommy John. I was pretty high on Verlander. Obviously, Zeke was the high man. He ended up being pretty right.
He didn't make my list, so
yeah, I'm pretty happy with him being 8th on mine. I think that was pretty good because what he ended up being like 4, 3. That's not too bad. Logan Webb, I had 9. I had Urias at 10. Scherzer at 11, which I got 3 points for. Actually, we tied. So me being the low man on Scherzer and everyone called me out on the podcast. Oh, you crazy. Max Scherzer at 11? 3 points. The only 3 points I got. If there's one man who's benefited more in his career off the terrible pitching of Max Scherzer, let me know. It's me, babes. It's me. I'll be the low man on Scherzer. I'll be the right man on Scherzer. Follow me for your Max Scherzer news. Thank you. Anyway, we got Freddie Peralta at 12. More injuries. Brought him into the team this year. Obviously, Peralta did not make anyone else's top 15. I'm crazy high on Freddie Peralta for this reason. I had him at 12, Rodon at 13. So that just shows you how much faith I had in Freddie. He's now a red hot. People are calling him like a top 40 pitcher now. I'm still very high on him. 2 WAR in the limited time he pitched. His background numbers look great. Look for him to have another good start this year. We'll talk about that on the top 10, top 15 starting pitcher for 2023 later down the line. Rodon, I had at 13th, as we mentioned before. He is the pitcher I think I was actually closest with, so we'll talk about that in a second. I had Charlie Morton at 14. He's a red hot now. Wasn't at the beginning of the season. Actually, he's not. I just traded him. I just traded him like 3 days ago.
I traded him to you, and you traded him away.
For a second-round pick, I traded him. Okay? They did not work out on the Red Hots. At number 15, Lance Lynn, another guy kind of mired with injuries last year. Some older guys at the end there. So I came in with 3 points. My total WAR for the position, Sean, was 53.4, total score of 3. What did you have for total WAR and total score?
Total WAR from the position, I had 54.2.
Beat me.
And I had 3.
There we go. So my cumulative WAR now without DH, because I'm doing with DH is 302.4, but I think Sean doesn't have the DHs in here. So without DH, 288.8. Do you have a Cumulor after that?
I have two after the relief pitchers, but I didn't do one. I mean, I'm sure I could do it quick enough.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, yeah, you subtract the relief pitching from it while I pull up Carlos Rodon and tell you guys why I thought I got his stats pretty well. So I predicted Rodon to have a 3.05 ERA, 225 strikeouts, and 15 quality starts. My guy Carlos Rodon went out and got a 288, so within about 15 on the 0.15 on the ERA, 237 strikeouts, within again 12 on the strikeouts, and 16 quality starts. I feel like I hit Carlos Rodon pretty well on the head there. It was difficult. I mean, there's some guys you couldn't hit on the head. DeGrom, Cole, couldn't hit Kershaw on the head because obviously, well, I could have predicted he wasn't going to pitch a lot, to be frank with you. Frankly, I predicted Clayton at a 2.85 ERA, Sean. I was 60 goddamn points off. This guy goes out with a 2.28. This guy's fucking crazy. Someone cool him down. Oh, someone cool him down.
295.2.
Okay. So you're up about 7 on me, Sean. I look bad. You're making me look bad, Sean. I'd appreciate it if you calm down.
I will calm down. Because the next one I did terribly. Really, really badly.
So did I, Sean. I've done bad on all of them. Sean, read me the top 10 relievers list.
Oh, we had top 15.
Top 15. Top 15. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. No worries. You want the ones from Fangraphs? Because I could not find that one.
I'll read it then. I'll read it.
Yeah, thank you.
Number 1, Edwin Diaz, Sean, with 3.0 WAR. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Number 2, Emmanuel Clase. We're right here, babe. Number 1 and 2. And you have Diaz in Fantrax, right?
I do.
Yeah, I got Clase. We got the best 2 closers in the league. And they're trying to do away with our closers, Sean. You hear what they were trying to do on the winter meetings? They're trying to do away with their closers. 2.4 WAR for Clase. Devin Williams, former Red Hot. I traded him to Team Sean, who, God fucking damn it, Sean. Get a name.
Please, in the comments, give me some ideas.
Give him a name, folks. This is year 3. He needs a name. So, Sean, you had 2 of the top 3 relievers. How does that feel?
It was fantastic. My team still finished second to last, but I don't know what it's going to take. I love my team. I think I have solid players, but the performance just isn't good. And before you say I'm not checking the team, I checked every single day and made the lineups. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I'm making the lineups, and if I just never paid attention to it, I would win the league. But yeah, I'm happy about having the 2 of the top 3 relievers in my pen.
Guys, comment down below if you think you could be a good manager for Sean. He's a general manager. He's looking for a guy to come into the clubhouse, set the lineup every day, make better executive decisions as far as who should be playing, who should not be playing. Okay, that's what he's looking for. Number 4, the surprise Dodgers entrance, Evan Phillips. Doesn't sound like a baseball player. I'll tell you, no offense to him and his family. Doesn't look like a baseball player, but he pitched phenomenally well this year. AJ Minter at 5. Ryan Helsley, the flamethrower out of St. Louis, at 6. Reynaldo Lopez moving to the bullpen and having a good year there with the old Chicago White Sox with 1.9 at 7. Andres Munoz, is he with Seattle or Toronto? Munoz.
Is he part of the Tejas?
I'm not sure. Sean, you look up what team Andres Munoz is because he just broke out this year, and I can't remember. Number 9 is Daniel Bard. Wonderful story. Hasn't pitched since like 2016. Comes back with the Rockies of all teams and lights it up, throwing 100 again. Former Red Sox. John Schreiber, 1.7 at 10. Eric Stephen, Trevor, not Eric. Trevor Stephan, 1.7. 11 is Eric Swanson, again with 1.7. 12 is Michael King, again with 1.7. 13 is Jose Alvarado, again with 1.7. And I actually don't have 14 and 15 because I just did the top 10. I kind of messed up with that, Sean. Let me see if I have the list I sent to you and I can quickly find it. I can. Hector Neris and Jordan Romano uh, rounded it out with 1.6s.
So where was Romano at?
Maybe he was 16. He might have been 16, Sean. Neris might have been 15. Yes. Well, shout out Jordan Romano though. I mean, shout him out.
I would have had points implications, so I was just checking to make sure I didn't.
Well, he does have the same as Neris. It's simply a last name letter.
So I had Romano at 13. Do I get points for that?
I'll give you a point, Sean. Not that you need it. I think you're being a little stingy. I mean, honestly, the 1.6s go down to about 21. So a lot of people were pretty close. Who's Andres Munoz playing for?
Seattle Mariners.
Seattle. Okay. Nice stash on the fella. Am I right on that?
Yeah, he's got it's a thin stash. It's not that thick, but it's thin.
Okay.
I like that list out of you.
Take me through your list, Sean.
All right, well, I'm going to start at 15, go to 1, just because we like to be different.
That's it.
Number 15, I had Taylor Rogers. Had a WAR of 1. Didn't get any points there. Taylor and Tyler, right? It's the brothers. Yeah, gotta love that.
That's correct. That is correct.
Corey,
together now.
Yeah, absolutely. Corey Knebel at 14. He had a 0 WAR, so no points there. Not the year anybody was really expecting from Corey. That's okay. The aforementioned Jordan Romano had at 13, 1.6 WAR. I got 1 point for that, as you just heard. So that is the only. No, I actually had 2 points in this one. That's nice. I'll get to the other point I got. Then I had Giovanni Gallegos at 12. He had 1.3 WAR. Again, no points there. Will Smith, 11, negative 0.1 WAR. Down year for him. You know, I didn't see that one coming, but like I said, the relief pitchers are hard to gauge. Now, number 10, I had Mark Melanson, who had 0.1. I remember making the list. I felt like I was kind of reaching by including him on the list, let alone putting him in the top 10. And I guess I should have followed my gut because he did not really perform this year. And then at 9, speaking of not performing, Blake Trinan had a WAR of 0. Yeah. No points for me there. Emmanuel Clase, I had at 8. No points there, but I had a 2.4 WAR. Number 7, the biggest probably miss of this whole list, or Aroldis Chapman at 7, the negative 0.2 WAR. I don't know what I was necessarily thinking. That did not pan out for me at all. Number 6, I had Raisel Iglesias with 1.6 WAR. No points there either. I got the flamethrowers right back to back. Fortunately, the Flames cannot provide any heat for a point. You win some, you lose some. Then I had Devin Williams at 5. Got a 2.2 WAR. That's my other point. Ryan Presley at 4. He had a 1.4 WAR. No points there. Kenley Jansen at 3, who had a 1.1 WAR. Thought it would have been a little higher than that, to be honest with you. Liam Hendricks, who just got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. Yeah, tonight.
Way to drop a goddamn bomb, Sean. Where were you when I said any news? Were you just waiting?
I just remembered it when I saw his name.
Holy shit. You don't drop Hodgkin's lymphoma as you're going through your list, Sean. That's not a goddamn tidbit about the season. I'm sorry to your family.
I just thought of it as I was reading his name.
Who, by the way, got just diagnosed with Hodgkin's. He didn't make the All-Star game this year, Sean. Oh, my goodness. Liam Hendricks. Is he going to be all right? What stage? You can't just say that to a man.
Sorry, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He'll start the cancer treatment immediately.
The country of Australia is in mourning. I hope you're okay, Liam. I'm not trying to make a joke about this. Sean just really caught me the fuck off guard right there with the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I mean, holy shit. Liam, you're in my prayers. You are... I don't know. 10th Inning Podcast loves you. Friend of the pod.
We're going to have to take this into account when we do the rankings for the top 15 relief pitchers next year.
He better be in yours. Piece of shit. Oh, my
I just saw his name and I thought of it. Well, to redeem me, I got Josh Hader at 1 with 0.8, and you know Josh Hader. No points there. So I had a grand total of 2 points in that relief pitcher ranking.
Okay. Well, Sean, let's go through mine here. I'll go 15-1 for you.
Okay.
My 15, I had Giovanni Gallegos. I don't know where he ended up finishing, Sean. How much WAR did he have?
He had a WAR of 1.3.
1.3. Okay. Let me just write this down. 1.3, because I didn't do 15 through 10. I'm just looking back at my notes now. I had Chad Green at number 14. I had Craig Kimbrell at number 13. Do you have either of their WARs?
Who was that?
Chad Green at 14 and Craig Kimbrell at 13.
Okay. Chad Green, let me look up here.
At number 12, I had Lucas Sims. A little sneaky pick there. At number 11, I had Tyler Rogers. Number 10, now we get back to the regular list because this is what I have. Johnny Lasagna, Johnny Loizaga, 0.4 WAR this year. Didn't do exactly as good as I thought he would, but I still think the kid's got a lot of talent. Colin McHugh, 1.4 WAR out there in Tampa Bay. I had him at 9. Number 8, I had Devin Williams. He had 2.2 WAR. Number 7, Ryan Presley, one of the best closers in the game. Surprised it was only 1.4 with Houston. I had Blake Trinan at 6, like Sean said. No WAR out of him this year. I had Edwin Diaz at 5. He had the 3 WAR. I had Iglesias at 4. He had 1.6. I had Josh Hader at 3 with 0.8. I had Emmanuel Clase at 2. I think one of the only nail on the heads this year. He was the second best, and I had him at number 2. I'm very happy about that. 5 points for me with 2.4 WAR. He's also the guy I think I was closest on. So, Sean, we're talking. I drafted him last year, put him in the exact right spot, and I think I was closest on his stats. I'll go through them real quick right here. I projected a 1.75 ERA and 70 innings pitched. He had a 1.97 ERA with 72.2 innings pitched. Pretty close there. My number 1 was the recently diagnosed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma patient, Liam Hendricks, 1.6 WAR. Had a really rough start to the season, but he picked it up going forward at the end. So I think he should still have a really good year next year, given that he makes a full recovery and doesn't have to miss any time. Obviously, we hope that he can do that.
Absolutely. Chad Green had a WAR of 0.3. Craig Kimbrell had a WAR of 0.9.
0.3, we got 0.9. Because I'm not losing any points here, Sean.
No, I don't want you to.
Let me see if I have everyone else here. I got Chad Green. What am I? What's going on here? Chad Green, that's right. Gallegos, you told me. Kimbrell, I got. What was Tyler Rogers? Because I know you might. Did you have Tyler or Taylor?
I had Taylor. Sorry.
So I had the Tyler. I remember we switched there. So I got to look up. Do me a favor. You look up Tyler Rogers WAR. I'm going to look up Lucas Sims WAR. And we're going to be all good there. I just got to do some adding. And then, Sean, we're going to figure out who won the whole fucking thing. I'll tell you, it's you. I will tell you that it is you. But not without a fight. Lucas Sims ended up with a 6.75 ERA in 6.2 innings pitched. So he got no WAR. Thankfully, it wasn't negative, Sean. That's all you could ask for.
Tyler Rogers had 0.6.
0.6. So let's add this up. I got 14.8 was my top 10 plus 1.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.9. Sean, it's tough for me with the math sometimes. 1.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.6 plus 0.9. 17.9 is my reliever WAR, Sean. Where were you sitting?
You beat me. I had 14.8.
Okay, listen. I'll take a win there, Sean. I'll take a win. I got no issues with taking a win. I think I had 14.8 without the rest of my top 15.
You're close. You're close.
17.9 minus 14.8 is 3.1. So I got to add 3.1 to my score, basically. So 3-0. 6.7, Sean. is my official final score.
306.7.
I know you beat me. I know you beat me, Sean, but you don't have to do it the way you go 306.7. Yeah, guess what, Dan? You're a piece of shit. You should kill your family. Okay? I don't need to hear that, Sean.
I
Tell
was
me how
not
much
going to
you
do
beat
that.
me by. Good.
310 even.
Yeah. Good job. Hey,
Thank
we
you.
both got over 300 WAR. Let's
We
see if
did.
we could do that again this year. I think that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my total score is 51.
My total score is 66.
Okay. So you definitely beat me. You definitely beat me on both. I don't know what I'm saying definitely for. I lost. Woo! Sean won the regular season battle. Sean won the after season battle. We get it. Sean's the greatest. Everyone loves Sean. Let's go, Sean. Let's make fucking t-shirts. Sean swept the whole season. Woo!
It's okay. I'll share any prize with you.
You think this is appropriate? My dog's in the hospital right now, Sean. You think I needed this right now? Not but 10 minutes before this fucking podcast, I loaded my dog in a car to be sent to the hospital. I said, I'm going to stay, Mom, because I got to record a podcast. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm touched and honored that that's the case. I just you play to win, and when an opponent's down, you can't stop. And I will help you up. I will help you up now that the competition's over. And like I said, any winnings that I get, I'll share with you. We'll split half.
You have anything to say to the Hendricks family, to my dog Bella, and the fans at home?
The Hendricks family, I apologize for what I said, or the way I said was a little insensitive. I did not intend to leave. Hendricks is one of my favorite players to watch, and that is totally serious. I'm not joking in that. The way he has a mound presence, so he's yelling, grunting. He's a fierce competitor. He's Australian. I hope he gets
guard the whole thing.
Absolutely. And to Bella, last time I was at your house, you gave me a lot of licks. I've always liked you. She was a little intimidated of me last time. Big physical presence that I am. But I hope you're doing okay. And prayers up.
Fans.
Yeah.
Anything to the fans?
Fans, thank you so much for sticking with us. Continue to tell your friends, and then your friends' friends, and your friends' friends. Get the subs up. The more viewers, the more subs we have, the more exciting, awesome content we'll be putting out. And we're just getting started, baby.
We're just getting started. Thank you for joining the 10th Inning Podcast. Look forward to next week. Give me 1 second. You wait right there. I'm back. We're back. And we got the cards. We got the setup all done now. We're not going another episode without it. And I got to tell you guys what to look forward for next week, but give a second.
Stop.
Ed Carrera.
Ed Carrera. All right, let me look him up.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot. Just ED.
Yeah, maybe it's like Edward or Eddie.
Hell of a stash on the fella, too. See what the card says here. Edwin Josue, Josue. I don't know how Josue. Edwin Josue Correa. Born April 29th, 1966, in Puerto Rico, Hato Rey, Puerto Rico. His home is Carolina, Puerto Rico. 6'2", 205, bats right, throws right. Looks as though he started in the year 1985, so this was just his third or fourth season. Career highlights, I'll read what they have here, Sean. Missed half of last season with a broken bone in his shoulder. Oof, not good when you're a pitcher. Set Rangers club record in 86 for most wins by a rookie. Was youngest pitcher in the AL in 86 and ranked 9th in league in strikeouts, second on Rangers in wins in 86, was 13-3 with a 2.53 for White Sox Appleton Farm in 85, ranking third in the Midwest League in wins and fourth in ERA. Was 10-6 with 3.44 in Appleton in 84, signed with the White Sox at age 16 in 1982. So obviously a Puerto Rican import, as Sean would like to say. But in 1986, had a hell of a rookie debut with the Rangers, 4.23 ERA, 12-14. Now they're saying that's the most wins by a rookie. It was 12 in 1986. And the Rangers, I mean, that talks more about the Rangers' history all time than Ed Carrera. No offense to you. How did the rest of his career shake out? Because 1987 looks like a 7.59 ERA. Did he end up doing better or worse?
He didn't pitch again in the majors after that year.
Oh, Ed, I'm sorry. Oh man, that's a
Yeah.
tough look.
Oh,
Sean, you don't have any good news today, Sean. Everything I
you
ask
know,
is just.
I to make him feel better, I was hoping he had something on Wikipedia, like a personal, like stuff that I could say he married so and so and had 3 kids. But there's not even anything on him Wikipedia aside from where he was born. Oh, I got something actually. Carrera managed the Trujillo Alto Puerto
Trujillo.
Rico Pony. Yes, Pony
Yeah,
baseball team
heard of
in
them.
the 2007 World Series in Washington, Pennsylvania. His team played against 7 other teams to win the title. And listen to this. He's a community guy. Carrera founded the Puerto Rico Baseball Academy in high school, a secondary school that also offers intensive baseball training in addition to its academic program. So this guy is not a total just,
No, that's big. That's really big because that's where a lot
You
of the
want to
scouts go.
you want to hear some notable alumni from that academy?
Let me hear it.
I'm just going to name him. I don't know the first guy. Hiram Burgos, not
Okay,
familiar. Carlos Correa,
there
you
we
know him
go.
very well.
Because he's big Puerto
Joe,
Rican.
Joe Jimenez, Christian
Yep,
Vasquez,
yep.
Naldo Navarro,
Okay.
Yasmuel Valentin, Joe Colon, Victor Caratini, and Vimeo Machine.
Yeah, because I think that's actually, no offense to Ed Carrera, that's one of the things that they were looking to quasi shut down in the last bargaining agreement. Because I don't know which side it was. I need to do more research on this, but basically they were taking kids and just having them play, like, working on their skills, and scouts were poaching at ages like 16, like what I guess happened with Correa. But a lot of I have to be more versed in this. There are pros and cons of it, with scouts being able to get to the kids that young, and having them like being developed that young and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because it left some kids that couldn't go to those schools without an ability to be scouted or something. They only wanted you to be signed after 18, like you can in the pros, like in the States, I mean. But it's wonderful to have places like from former major leaguers like Ed Carrera, for players to develop their skills in other countries like that where they don't have the resources necessarily. So that's really dope.
absolutely. I actually have some more fun facts on him as well. So Ed, you're getting a big spotlight. He's was a practicing Seventh Day Adventist. So he would not pitch from sundown Friday till sundown Saturday. The Rangers were able to work around this disruption to their 5-man pitching staff due to Charlie Hughes' ability to pitch on short rest.
That's funny. Well, I
Yeah.
guess that you throw 7.59 and say I don't pitch on the weekends. I mean, that's I'll hit the showers, Ed Guerrero.
I got
No
another.
offense to your religion. I'm just saying you're not going to make it to major leagues like that.
I got another, especially back then. I got another fun
Yeah.
fact though. In 1987, after that horrible year, he injured his arm and never pitched in the majors again. So an arm injury is what ended his career.
John, I think it was the weekends off. I think the Texas started. They were like, "All right, man, you had the most wins in rookie history, but you also went 12-14. So the 7.59 and taking off every weekend ain't really going to jive with the Major League Ball Club here, Ed. Because Charlie over here, he's having shoulder surgery for pitching on 2 days rest because it happened to be Friday night when your spot came up. I think that's what happened. No offense against Ed and his family, but what I do love, Sean, is being able to look up these guys. Like, who knows, that was his last year. No one probably really heard of Ed Carrera. And now the world gets to enjoy a major leaguer. There's only so many of them. And hopefully you guys got a little bit of a history lesson right there on Ed Carrera.
I also have more league news. This one also not really positive.
Okay.
Trevor Bauer was DFA'd by the LA
That's right.
Dodgers.
Forgot about that.
And he was saying the Dodgers actually were talking about bringing him back, which I find hard to believe, but hey, so we'll see where that goes in this offseason. So
Yeah. Red Hots are possibly looking to acquire Bauer. Don't love what he did. The course team didn't do anything. So we're trying to look about how it's going to affect us PR wise. But could be a time to take a chance, give a guy a second chance, a flyer that could be great, especially in the fantasy world. So we're looking into that heavily over here on the Red Hot side, which if you guys were interesting. Next week, guys, it's time. It's here. No more bullshit. The top 10. You just heard our top 10s from last year, how they worked out. Get ready for this year's top 10. That means to me and Sean a lot of time researching and prepping because there's no podcasts that are worse. The rest of your year, Sean, until spring training is going to be a nightmare. I'm sorry. Top 10 catcher is coming to you next week, folks. Get excited. We're going to have guests on the podcast. We're going to have, like I said, guests on the podcast with their top 10. A lot of fun, a lot of jokes, a lot of laughs, and good insight for your fantasy teams, for your betting lines, and going forward with just daily life as a baseball fan. Absolutely. Sean, are you excited to get to the top 10?
I am very, very excited, especially for the 2-hour episodes. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. We'll try our best to keep it at an hour. But
we'll see if Dan has, like just miss about 25 players and projections for each player individually.
I'm going to try. I will give you projections. I will. I'm not going to take that away because I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But I'll try and keep it to the 10. I'll do my very best. Sean, I want to leave them with this. Last year, you didn't have him on your list. This year, just off the top of your head, what do you think Kirk's going to rank in your catchers list next Sunday? What do you think he's going to rank?
I think top 5.
Alejandro Kirk, top 5 catcher. You heard it here from Sean Meyer himself. We'll see you next week on
Prayers for Liam Hendricks.
Prayers to you. Bella, you too, sweetheart. I love you.